1.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Riss or Andrew. We're doing a revival episode of the WPF podcast. Here, I've got my panel of resident Australians, as well as my co-host Pierre or Sam. Go ahead and say what's up, guys.
What is up, my guys?
What's up, guys?
Sorry,
What's going on, guys?
Also,
The WPF podcast is finally back. Thank God.
I've finally outsourced the grunt work to people across the world, so we're able to bring this back for you, and I hope you all enjoy it.
Or, I hope you can at least sort of tolerate it.
Yeah, get
Alright.
through to the end. Have to just get through the end.
yeah, so obviously now is a pretty busy time for the WPF. We are in playoffs for Season 5. We are looking for tryouts for Season 6, and we have our first season of our triple side divisions going on. So it's pretty cool.
It is.
Maybe we
pretty
might as well
intense.
get this back into play.
And then speaking of playoffs, yeah, so in the background here, you should be seeing a whole bunch of replays from across the league from the different playoff games that have been going on. So we're going to start an S and work our way down and keep them going as needed. So you've got something to look at.
And if you're a high seed, you might want to look away, giving how the high seeds have fared this season.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how the brackets are looking, but I can't imagine anybody is doing too hot.
Yeah, I mean, she sits in A, I think. He's still in it, and he was by far and away, I think, the best coach of the season, so...
Wasn't he 9-1 or 10-9?
Yeah, I think he only had, I think 2 losses, but one of them
Yeah.
was a forfeit.
It was a forfeit.
Yeah.
Yeah, forfeit
Oh
loss.
yeah, that's right. That's
And then
right.
the other, yeah. I
But he
don't know.
got all the way up to 7-0, I think, before he sustained his forfeit and then the one loss or whatever.
Oh wait, I remember this match that we're seeing on screen.
Yeah,
He
this,
said he literally told them the team that he was bringing. And then
Did he?
He forgot. Yeah, he literally said, "All right, I'm just gonna bring only I'm just gonna bring only sub toxic protect."
That's one of the
And
most
anywhere-
alpha moves I think I've ever heard in my life.
And then PCC didn't prep for it. And then he just brought sub toxic protect because he's not a liar. He's a nice guy.
next level 9 games in this division, for
That
sure.
is the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life.
That was so funny and so sad.
I mean, it worked. Or maybe it worked. I don't know. We'll see.
It didn't work out for PCC.
Oh, spoilers.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, seriously. What if we haven't seen it?
I
Well,
haven't
luckily
actually
you
seen
can
it.
see it.
Just kidding, man.
It's a very long game. Probably something
So
that was
something I wanna ask you guys, right?
mono sub toxic protect against like a magic bounce Pokemon.
I mean, there's a whole tank growth right there. It's fine.
Yeah. But yeah,
All right. So we were talking in the coordinating group chat for this the other day, and the topic came up where we were talking about the different representations of Santa Claus, right? So for all my Americans, you're probably thinking, fat, jolly guy in a big red and white suit. He's got a sleigh and deer, whatever. For
unfortunately,
whatever reason, I didn't know this. It's obviously summer when it's Christmas in the southern hemisphere where Australia is. Do you really mean to have me believe that your Santa has like board shorts and he's shirtless? That's
he's
not real.
shirtless. I sent you the picture. He's still wearing the coat.
Yeah, I don't
He's
think
body.
you can advertise a shirtless Santa based on his build. I'm gonna be.
I mean, I've definitely seen shirtless Santa, but only ever in like American ads for beer.
I mean, I've
Here's-
seen shirtless
Alright.
Santa, but those are real people in real life.
Carbon programming. This was the
So
picture.
what do
he
I
sent-
Google? Australian Santa?
Here, I got you, Pierre. It's on screen.
Okay.
Yeah,
Look at how
I
gnarly.
refuse to believe
Picture that I
this.
provided. That's a very, very accurate Australian Santa.
That is a gnarly Santa right there.
How do you think
It's-
he delivers so many things in one day? What he actually does is he just styles on everyone with surfing, with his pro surf skills, and then everyone is just hypnotized into delivering presents for him.
He's got to have like
Oh
a
my
scooter, right?
Scooter, no,
Sleigh is
surf.
kangaroos. Kangaroos pull it.
Kangaroo sleigh, yeah.
I wouldn't recommend doing that with kangaroos. They're a bit of a pest,
What do you guys leave out for him when he comes at midnight? Like Corona or
Corona.
beer, like.
Beer.
Why would I need a Mexican beer out
Whoa!
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh no, not
I'm
not
just-
diseases.
Not that Corona. I didn't
I
think
will-
you meant that Corona.
I
to
will
be
say
fair.
this. I will say this. I am very, very glad you didn't say Foster's because no one here drinks Foster's.
Oh my god, Foster's is literally the worst beer I've ever had, dude.
Yeah,
It's
and-
so bad.
No one drinks it here. It's not a. I've seen it.
It's
like,
not Australian for beer.
No, it's. It is
I-
not.
I
you
don't
do
know
not go
what-
to. You cannot go to a bar or a pub and order a Foster's.
I have literally
Chris,
only
have
ever
you
seen
had
a
it?
Foster's while I was in the US and when I was in Mexico. That's the only
Yeah.
time I've ever seen Foster's anywhere.
I've seen
It tastes like
Foster's-
PBR, dude. So
seen-
bad.
I've seen them in like BWSs. Like I've seen them in that. I've seen them in Bottlos, but I haven't seen them in like just. I haven't seen them on tap or anything.
Is it advertised as a light beer? I don't know anything about this.
Sorry, Foster's is advertised as an Australian beer, and I believe the brand is headed in Australia, but no one in Australia drinks it. But in the US, it is known, at least in some circles, as the Australian beer. It's just bad.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember when I was in Australia if they had it. I don't think they had it on tap or I saw it either, to be honest with you.
It's,
They
it's not
definitely
a
wouldn't.
thing. No one here. Everyone here hates it.
I mean,
Okay.
somebody's got to drink it, right? Because otherwise, it wouldn't be in business.
Yeah,
Americans drink it. It gets
Idiots, yeah. Idiots,
from the
Chris.
US
Idiots.
and Mexico. I didn't even see it when I was in Canada. Only in the US and Mexico. Not that the Australian local beers are necessarily like the ones that are universal, necessarily that much. Are necessarily amazing.
They're
than
better.
Foster's. They're better. It's a low bar. It's low.
Yeah. I would take a 4X any day over a Foster's. That's all I'm gonna say.
Absolutely.
I would take any other beer over Foster's.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
Yeah, it's bad, really.
Definitely take our word for it. I would not recommend. I don't even drink anymore.
Well, that's no fun.
Yeah,
You're missing
I've
out,
never
man.
seen you drink actually.
I used to drink, and when I drank too much, and now I just don't drink.
Matter of fact,
Yeah, that's fair.
you know what? Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get me something.
Would recommend not putting spirits down by the bottle.
Spirit wine.
That's very fair.
Yeah, that's Hey, never say you don't learn anything from listening to this podcast, people. Don't drink spirits like they're fucking water.
Yeah. Also, don't
Yeah.
play like he plays Pokemon.
Okay.
That can refer to
Okay.
any of the 4 people in this chat.
Oh shit. No, I just got some Baileys in my tea right now. That's all I'm rocking with right now.
I don't know. I was never a big fan of Bailey's. It's too sweet.
Oh, they're amazing.
It's great.
I mean, that's why you
Maybe
put it
put
in
too
like,
much in.
like bitter coffee, right? Like black
Yeah,
coffee.
just a little bit.
Out.
Right.
I have it with milk a lot, to be honest.
Milk's fine too. I make bomb White Russians.
But okay, did Pablo also just bring Toxic Protect everything?
That's all S Division is.
Uh,
It's just Toxic Protect. That's
Toxic
the
Protect.
only
Yeah,
set
it's-
everyone ever brings.
I mean, none of his Pokemon have had Protect so far, but like they've all had
It's-
Toxic. So
It's like watching S Divisions, like no one wants to take a risk or like make a play. Everyone just is conservative to roost their health back up and like make the safe play, you know what I mean? At least in my opinion.
They
I
don't
feel like
play
S
badly.
Divisions.
Yeah, they
Fair
don't
enough.
throw constantly.
I was like, I mean, I can understand
That's
how
weird,
you find
weird
that to be a
concept.
different
I've never
experience to
seen
Adiv. I don't know, man.
Best div though. It just is.
No,
Hard for-
Eddiv is the best
non-throwing
div because we've had the most coaches. We physically just had more coaches than you. Clearly, we're better.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Try to work out. That doesn't make sense in my head.
No, it totally does. Totally, yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, by
If you
law,
were-
large numbers, like, we recruit so many people. Like some of them have got to be good, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's just ignore Photon. And me. So yeah, SDiv and ADiv, and I believe we have a BDiv mod as well as ADiv player here in the yoPierre.
Pierre.
It's yoPierre, my friend.
The
Okay, stop. Everyone, peek behind
Listen,
the veil.
Jake,
Peek
don't make me come over there.
Peek behind the veil. Electric.
Come to Brazil.
Before this started, Electric's like, "Oh, you better not pronounce Rizal's name wrong. I still can't pronounce it, but you better not pronounce it wrong." And then he goes ahead and makes a complete fool of himself with yoPierre. This is.
No, I didn't tell you not to pronounce Pierre's name wrong. I told you not to pronounce Rissoux's name
Pierre.
Rissoux.
Rizzo.
Paella, my favorite.
I would try to butcher your name, but it's literally unbutcherable. Electric. You just sound it out.
He's named after the Pokemon, isn't he?
Yeah, Electric.
The type?
No, it's
Electric.
not. It's not named after Pokemon at all.
The electric dog.
This is named after Zeus.
Boltund. He's named after Boltund.
It is named after. There's a
Ride
complex story behind the name that I don't think anyone cares enough to get into, at least in the first episode.
Tell me, is it from Mortal Kombat? Why are you electric, dude?
It's not from Mortal Kombat. It's a very complex story.
There's
We got
plot
time,
twists,
I don't
there's
know.
betrayal.
Oh boy, let me get my tea.
Have you heard of anime abridging?
Oh yeah, DBZ Abridged is like one of my favorite series of all time, dude.
Yeah,
I don't. You should explain it in excruciating detail.
Okay.
Yes, you
There's
should
this thing
actually.
called anime, which is to say cartoons, but they are from Japan, or sometimes China, or sometimes Korea, depending on how liberal people being with the definition. Or sometimes like the US, like people call Ruby or Avatar an anime, even though they're just made in the. I think Avatar's made in Canada, and then Ruby is made in the US. So but I've definitely seen like abridges of them too. And then abridging is where you like put images of the anime together.
Like a voiceover.
In a comedic thing. Where you do the editing and the voicing, of course.
Yeah.
So that's what abridging is. And basically I was doing I was involved in that community, and I made an abridge of an anime which had electric in the title, and then in a server about the anime abridging community there was a post about abridging anime, and there was a trend of nicknaming everyone, taking nicknames in that server of the series that they were running, and then I had that nickname, and then people just started calling me Electric, and I didn't like my old internet name, so I stuck with Electric.
What's the show name? I'm gonna watch it now.
Wouldn't
its name is Kiss X Sis.
it's called Denpateki Nakanojo, or My Electric Girlfriend.
Wow. It's called
Electromagnetic, actually. But yeah, it's it's pretty full on, but it's good. Electromagnetic.
Electromagnetic Girlfriend. Okay.
Yes. I mean, it's pretty full on.
I'm glad we got around to saying the name in English, because I had no idea what you said at first.
I always forget what English names of things are. I have to check.
I'm Googling it right now. Go to the YouTube. Let's check this thing out.
Yeah.
I will watch an episode of your masterpiece, Electric.
It's literally just 2 or 3 OVAs. You're not going to find the abridged one. That thing. that's
Long gone.
That was a mistake, man.
Okay,
that was a mistake.
So when you win Ubers, you're promising to repost it. Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't even have it anymore.
So what you're saying is when you win Ubers, you promise to
Okay,
re-abridge
so
it.
context. We have 3 side divisions going on right now for the World Pokemon Federation. So we previously were doing off seasons, and we decided to do side divisions because there were just so many concepts and so many people who wanted to play in them. So currently we have Ubers, which is an Arceus legal format. We have low tier, which is specifically tier 3 and below, and we have Little Cup as our divisions. I believe the plan is to rotate like the low tier between tier 2 and below, tier 3 and below, tier 4 and below, tier 5 and below, whatever people want at the particular time. Ubers between Arceus legal, non-Arceus legal, and then unrestricted and stuff, like probably less of the unrestricteds though. And then Little Cup with whatever.
Yeah, I think Little Cup is going to be one of those that gets rotated out to something else entirely. Like maybe that's a double or whatever. But
yeah, so I think that's currently the plan with that. And previously, when we did Ubers, which was our second ever off season, I lost 1 game the entire season and then won. I'm still salty about losing that 1 game because I had a really bad Hydro Pump miss. But it's okay. I did.
I have the Hall of Fame up. Can verify he did win.
Mr. like
Yeah.
16th and 1, I think you'll be okay.
Look, man, I just don't like losing. You know, I don't think you understand.
No, I
It's
can
not
tell
a-
it. Definitely.
I can
No,
relate.
I care more about having a clean on season than getting trophies. I cared more about trophies back then, but I just had trophies from a bunch of
Imagine
leagues.
winning a
Oh,
league.
that's one of the most. That's one of the biggest subtle brags I think I've ever heard in my life.
I have played more leagues than like the three of you combined, possibly. Definitely more than Rizzo and Keith combined. Or
Oh,
Yeah.
calling out,
Nerd gauntlet.
calling them
Alright.
out.
Yeah.
it just happens when you've played a lot that you wind up playing against, you know, in some more
Scrubs.
questionable leagues. And
All
I've
the
also
scrub
won
leagues I
both
joined,
leagues
they
as
always
well.
fell apart before I could finish them.
Yeah, I can't say I've had that. I've also run a few leagues from time to time before, and
That's how
During
I
the World
got
Cup
into
Federation.
WPF. Is
Yeah.
the leagues that he ran.
yeah, the context is so I was the treasurer of the Pokemon Club at university, and I started running some draft leagues through that. So that was how Keith got involved in draft league content and stuff, which is pretty cool. Would recommend. University clubs are cool.
10 out of 10 would recommend. All right.
Yeah,
Um,
my college didn't have any sort of Pokemon clubs. I didn't like actively search for them, but like never once did I hear of anything about that.
I didn't search for them either, but I had a friend who got me into the anime club, and at the time the Pokemon club was part of the anime club, and then it became its separate club the following year.
Oh,
Yeah, I just.
so you were there for the
University
evolution.
One day, and they had a stand out. It's like, hey, there's a Pokemon club. Oh, hey, I'll sign up.
Was
for
I
that.
at Stand? Probably not.
No, because I
Yeah.
signed up for my first year. It was like I signed up when I was still part of the.
Oh yeah, sorry, he signed up 3 years before I did.
That's
Or
amazing.
what,
Do
2 or
anything
3 years?
with it.
Yeah. I actually met you, I think, at a Pokemon Go event, didn't I?
I've never been to a Pokemon Go event.
And you've been in love ever since.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, it's cool. And around that time, I think I started playing that around WPF. Probably during the second off season, the Ubers one was I think around the time that we started that. So that was pretty cool. Then I got axed in the playoffs of that league as well. That was so sad.
I do really wish there was a format that we could engage in where we get to kind of pick and select like which versions of packs we would want to include, because there definitely are mechanics of the game that just aren't really pleasurable for anyone.
I mean, if you want, I can get.
You don't like freezes?
Nah, man. So like that's really annoying to me is the freezes. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I can
Yeah,
literally
Ice
just.
Beam.
I mean,
Then
I have
switch into
someone
Ice
to
Beam,
give me
bro.
a meta where like we don't have the physical special split anymore. I definitely can ask to just have a meta without freezes.
Excessive.
Wait, okay. You want a meta without freezes, right? I've got the perfect
One
I
dude
did.
let me ice beam him like 6 times and then
Yep.
complained when I froze him. I was like, dude, why are you letting me click ice beam 6 times? That's your fault.
The
Huh? What are you talking about?
Some
It's a
people
1 out
do.
of 10 chance, dude. If you keep letting me click it, I'm gonna freeze you. Simple
I'm
as
not
that.
talking to you.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I mean,
Man.
to some extent, yeah, but I don't know, man. Still
Is
a
what
bit sad. What one game I remember I got completely salty about because it knocked me out of playoffs in a league because I missed a Stone Edge. Sorry, I had clicked a Z Stone Edge with Lycanroc into a Flygon to kill it. But it turns out that if I had clicked like a non-Z move, I could still have killed it. I think I had Crunch. So then I missed the regular Stone Edge into Ninetales, and it froze me with Blizzard, even though it wasn't in Hail anymore, because Hail had ended the turn it came in. And then I didn't thaw, and then it just beat the rest of my team, which was really sad.
You hate to see it.
Yeah.
Get it after.
Well, hey guys, so what are your summer plans? So like, do you have anything kind of big coming up? Is there anything cool going on in your area? What's
Christmas is
it looking like
generally
for you in the
good.
future?
Yeah, I don't plan ahead. I'm going to be surprised if I'm still alive by Australia summer, to be honest.
Please still be alive by Australian
Oh,
summer.
I'm not going to actively seek death. You know, I just feel like,
No, I mean,
maybe a
it's
giant
new
rock
to eat
will
food.
fall on my head. Who knows?
I don't think they even have giant rocks in Mackay. I think they're all in Gladstone.
I'll go to Gladstone just for the rocks.
I mean, it would be pretty easy to just stumble upon a way to kill yourself where you guys live. There's really no shortage of methods there.
He lives in the middle of. He lives in Woopu,
Yeah.
up north of Mackay. I live in the actual city, whereas you guys live in like tiny places in the US, because most of the places in the US are like really small cities. So it's weird.
There's a
I
decent
don't
amount of
understand.
people that actually live in Mackay. It's like a population of 100,000 or something.
Yeah, that's not decent, man. If you don't have
That's
multiple million, it's not a city; it's a large town.
decent. Yeah, that
It's like I've seen people call Brisbane a country town, and we have like 2.5 million people living here.
Brisbane has 2.5 mil.
Because it's not a tiny place in the middle of nowhere, unlike
Yeah, dude.
just like half the US.
I'm sorry, are you guys talking about Brisbane?
It's like Philly, maybe.
Brisbane, the city in Queensland, it was the one that Obama went to for G20 alongside Putin.
Yeah, Brisbane. Yeah, you're
Brisbane.
Yeah, Brisbane.
right.
Oh,
Yeah,
is it that
Brisbane.
says- oh, that's right. Who is it that says Brisbane? I know there's some YouTube person that says it.
Wolfie VGC, and he was here, and I told him. I mean, I didn't tell him, but my friends who were actually friends with him told him that it's Brisbane, and he still calls it Brisbane. I was so annoyed.
Well, that's one of his things, though, right? Is that he purposefully says
He
things wrong.
pronounces Pokemon names correctly.
Well, he says shit like video, but with W.
Yeah, that's because of Marcus, his best friend, who is German, and in German, V and W are the opposite letters. So he says video because he speaks to German. I believe he's like broken that down like in like every third video because people complain about how he says video man. Very, I don't know.
You
I
should
can
complain
figure-
about Brisbane. See if he fixes that.
I did. And people complained to him in real life in Brisbane when he was here.
Yeah. I don't know.
At least
You need to do it more then. That's what you need to do.
Probably, yeah, probably.
But what is, for the Americans, what is the American summer plans then?
Just not die, I guess. I'm kind of in the same boat as you.
Yeah.
Me and the wife we're talking about whether or not we want to move or PCS or any of that. We just don't know yet.
Like it within the same city, within the same state, interstate.
So there are a couple of job opportunities where I could go to like Kentucky or down to Savannah. You could just work in a different part of the base. Yeah, Savannah, Georgia, exactly. We just don't know because the military is doing what's called a like a stopgap, right? So like until May of next year, they've pretty much stopped any sort of PCS moves that aren't intrapost, right? So like anybody who wants to go work somewhere else.
When you say PCS, what do you mean?
Permanent change of station.
Yeah, permanent change of station, right? So like if the Army decides, hey, you're working here in North Carolina, we want you to go work in Colorado, they will PCS me to Colorado.
So, if you move to Colorado, obviously, you would no longer have to join the Confederacy when it declares independence again.
I've already
unlike
signed up.
now, when you live in
No, North Carolina's above the Mason-Dixon line. We're good.
I don't know, man. North Carolina, I think it's at risk this time.
No, we are south of the Mason-Dixon line.
It's crazy.
We're
So-
red state, aren't we? Or no, Charleston. South Carolina's red state. I think we're blue. I don't remember.
North Carolina is it's a swing state. Most
It's a
elected
purple
states.
state, but it tends to vote Republican, and I believe
Yeah.
the mayor, the governor's Republican.
I think
You
he's
could be
Democratic,
right.
actually.
Is
Because
it?
the Republican. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he lost.
So we'll be in the north, easy.
Governor, North Carolina.
Winning side.
Roy Cooper.
Yes.
Yeah, no, you're
The
right.
king in the north.
I think it's
Oh,
more important, for it to be...
Pierre. Hey, so I watched a video earlier today, just coming back from work, where it was like a real life lawyer, like accredited lawyer, who broke down the Tyrion Lannister like trial as if it were actually a part of like jurisprudence in America. It
Yeah.
was a
good.
ridiculously silly video to watch, but it made me happy.
It was
I
good.
believe you guys do still have that trial by combat exception, right?
We do.
Wait,
Yeah,
what? What? Inform information now. Go.
It's a joke. It is a joke.
Oh, that is...
They had it in France in the 60s.
They had
That's
trial by combat as a legal exception in France in the 1960s.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm not sure how often that would have been enforced, but it is also the French, to be fair. Hey, someone's
Well,
using
I
a
think-
Pokemon.
So they were slightly different. So you couldn't like nominate somebody to fight for you. Like if you decided you wanted to go that route, like it was you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like pick up
I mean,
your sword.
that's what real trial by combat is.
Yeah.
And then who did the state provide their like best fighter, like a ninja or somebody?
Like a horse or something.
A ninja. Yeah, they just imported someone from Japan. They had a member of the gendarmerie.
Well, I'm
Just-
assuming
just
it's a
a
knife
gendarme.
fight, right? Ninjas are like the best with knives.
Yeah, but ninjas weren't a thing in France.
I think you mean shuriken.
That's what I think.
Never know.
I think
Kunai. Other
Tomato,
anime
tomato.
class.
French ninjas.
Shinobi.
What they should have done is jousting. I think that would have been some real grade A entertainment.
You literally just be good at riding horses and you win.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you
They-
still got like all the lands and
the equestrian world champion just gets a free pass to like murder people in France, just because they can they can ride a horse good.
Well, again, trial by combat. You're not going to stop them from. You're not going to beat them in combat.
Exactly right. Yeah, I don't know. This is why it stopped in the 1960s, which I believe was around the time that Rizzo turned 100.
oh man,
I mean,
something
well,
like that.
I believe the
pretty
current
old.
WPF law is that you are, well
The
into your
Godfather.
150s.
Oh man.
I don't believe that Marlon Brando was 100 years old in the 1960s.
The what now?
Marlon Brando, 1960s. You
What
said
are we
you were the
talking-
Godfather.
I don't
I
know.
don't
Oh,
When you don't wait.
The actor who played
Yeah.
the Godfather.
okay. That's. Thank you. All right.
Very
I'm not on the
famous
first date with him, so
Yikes.
I don't know. I don't know what people watch. Do people still read books?
Sometimes.
hopefully, I don't think I've picked up a book in years, like recreationally. Anyway,
Recreational book use.
I mean, I've like been given a book to read by like professors and whatever, but I never went to Barnes and Noble and like, oh man, this would be good for some casual reading. That hasn't happened in forever.
Wow, you really are part of the U.S. Armed Forces.
Oh, wow.
That's it, man.
That is it.
I feel like they would read though. I don't know, when they travel or when they're bored at work or something.
Not video games.
That's what TikTok's for.
Ah,
Oh god,
Oh, God.
TikTok. TikTok is literally like.
I don't know what to tell you about
So,
TikTok, man.
Okay.
The
this
thing
year-
is, I knew what TikTok was back when Vine was still a thing,
this-
because of all the Pinoy boys we get around Australia.
yeah. Well, this
Because
year,
it was big in the Philippines at the time, and now it's big here, and I'm like, what the fuck?
yeah, this year was the year that the Australian sports stars discovered it. So they've all gotten into like scandals from breaking like COVID-19 restrictions, where they've had girls over, and then they've posted their TikToks of them dancing with a bunch of women, and it's been hilarious to see.
Not a big
Well,
fan.
I feel like that's a silly use because you're kind of self-incriminating, right?
Yes,
Like if you
yes.
are actively providing evidence against
Yes.
yourself, like, hey, look at these cool rules we're breaking, but then you post it to the internet, like that's just not smart business then.
Well, yeah,
I agree.
The average Australian football player, and I like Australian.
The average Australian
rugby
football
league
player is a Maori dude.
Yeah, true, but they are also not the sharpest tools in the shed. And I love,
Sorry, for you
I love-
Americans, Maoris are the native peoples of New Zealand, and they emigrate over to Australia at a massive rate.
correct.
Why wouldn't you just call them New Zealanders? Why you gotta go make
Because-
No, because they're
Fines.
like the natives,
Any-
dude.
It's like,
Yeah.
would you say Americans if you're talking specifically about Native Americans?
When
I
I,
mean,
was there,
you just take a word off and they're Americans, yeah.
how's that dish that they make when they cook in the ground? I tried to get that when I was there and I couldn't. Is it good?
I have no idea what
Yeah,
you're
what are
talking
you
about.
talking about?
The natives you're just talking about, they're like famous dishes where they dig a hole in the ground and they cook in the ground. It's like a rice dish. I forget what it's called.
Rice native to New Zealand.
Yeah, let me Google it real quick.
That sounds pretty sus. I don't think rice was native to New Zealand.
We're gonna get back on the potato tangent here in a second. All rice didn't originate from one part of the earth. Like, there's different kinds of rice.
Yeah, but New Zealand?
Could they have had rice at one point? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just
It's called
like
hangi.
Americans
It's
were.
called hangi electric. HANGI.
I've heard of the food before.
Um,
That's just using the heated rocks in Rimmer. Yeah. Anyways, okay, I know what this is. I've never associated it specifically with rice. I only associate it with like meat and like onions and crap.
Oh, okay. Well, I never had it, so my
It's just like
knowledge of
a
it is skewed.
cooking tool. It's pretty cool. The food you get there is pretty nice, but it's not very convenient to do.
Yeah, like I said, we couldn't find that food. And honestly, the food in New Zealand, I felt like was just like a shittier Britain. I don't know. It was like,
I didn't find New Zealand food to be particularly outstanding either.
yeah.
I wouldn't want to move to New Zealand. For one thing, it's freezing there.
Oh, it is so.
Is it?
Yeah.
Dude, it's like 60 up here, and I'm below 2 sheets of dunas with long pants and thermals on. I am not made
Damn,
to
bro.
live in like Arctic places like New Zealand, where it gets down to like 20.
Or Canada?
Yeah, I went to Canada once, and no, thank you. I've done Canada, I think. And like most of the US was way too cold when we went there. There's this weird thing. I don't know if it's everywhere there because it just sounds too weird to be real, but like
No,
rain
anything
falls,
like
but it's like yellow, it's like white, yellowish, like dirt powder.
acid rain?
Just 'cause it's cold. I don't understand it. It's called like Suno or something.
Rain's not like that down here. I don't know. Maybe it's acid rain you saw.
Snow. Yeah, that fucks weird. What the hell?
Snow.
you're saying snow is
Wait,
weird?
what? No, wait. Snow. I have.
What on earth is what's it supposed to be?
I don't know.
It's
Actually,
rain.
I have a
It's a
snow-based
frozen
story.
raindrop.
I have a snow-based story. This is when I was in Japan and I saw snow for the first time. But I was traveling with, it was my family, because this is when I was like 14. I was traveling with my family and like some family friends, and there are a bunch of annoying, spoiled like little girls, but it doesn't matter. Well, actually it does matter, because we were on the train, and this one of them, they just saw snow, and they were happy about it. They were really happy about it. They were so happy they just shouted the word snow for 2 hours, and literally because they just kept seeing snow, and when we'd go under a bridge, they'd stop saying snow. And then the second we'd leave the bridge, they'd start loudly saying snow again. And that was like 2 to 3 hours of my life. So I hate
I do that
snow.
too. Yeah.
Really? You
I don't
just
know.
shout snow?
No.
Snow! Snow! Under a bridge.
Snow, you don't.
Snow! Snow! Oh.
That's pretty obnoxious.
And
Yeah.
I don't understand why this thing is allowed to exist. It's too cold as well, and it like melts and then it gets in. I hated it.
Snowboarding's fun though.
Yeah, you can like go out and do snowballs and snowmen. You sled. That's
Yeah.
pretty fun.
Snow's great.
All that stuff. Building a snow fort, dude, and having like a 1v1 battle with your team, your friends. It's great.
I'm sorry, I play competitive Pokemon. I don't know what that word means.
Oh, you never played capture the flag in the snow forts? You're messing
No,
out,
for one
bro.
thing, I didn't see snow until I was in the US when I was like graduated school.
That sounds
beyond
terrible.
that, I meant I didn't know what friends were.
Being a grown adult and never have seen snow before, that sounds terrible.
I had seen snow before.
You
I'd
say
seen it like
that.
when I was in Switzerland, and I'd seen it like at like Mount Buller. But dude, snow is weird. It's way too cold. The temperature shouldn't be allowed to get below 80.
Below 80. Oh god.
Ridiculous.
That's okay.
Dude,
I'm not. I
80
am,
is
I am,
good sleeping weather.
I am not. I am not about this at all.
Yeah, no, I'm not
Shit.
either.
I grew up in Queensland, which is a
Yes,
fairly
so
cold
did
place.
I.
But you probably had air conditioning.
Yes, I did.
I did not have air conditioning, so I got accustomed to like going to bed and learning how to sleep when I was like 3, and it's like 100 during the night.
I just
Uh,
And here I thought Australia was civilized.
Australia is civilized.
Evidently not.
What does the temperature have to do with civilization? That's not my fault that you guys live in a bunch of ice.
Are we civilized? Are we really civilized?
I mean, insert Orange Man joke here.
There was a 3-week period early, like last month, where I didn't have AC at all, and it was consistently 80 to 85 inside the house. I wanted to shoot myself. It's so bad.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cold, man.
Haha.
Get out of here!
What?
Oh,
80 is
really
not
Go
cold.
home!
That's ridiculous.
Get out of here!
In no world is that acceptable.
Literally,
No.
that's literally what people set their thermostats to here.
Oh wait, okay, how much is 80 in Celsius?
26!
Yeah, 26 is fine, but
26 is like night weather when the day hits like
I want
40, 42.
That's kind of hot, not gonna
24
lie.
is
I like
perfect.
22.
22,
24, yeah.
When you've had a day that's hit like 112 and it was Christmas, so you went swimming for Christmas, it's amazing. And then, it's like 80 when you sleep. That's a good day. It's a good day. Good Christmas. You get to have like a nice barbecue as well at the beach. Hell yeah.
I like shrimp on the bobby.
That is so weird because no one calls it shrimp here because shrimp is what the Americans call prawns.
Yeah.
But prawn on the Barbie doesn't really roll off the tongue as well.
I thought prawns and shrimp were different. Aren't prawns bigger?
No, prawns are literally just another word. The
Like
original name
line, all
for
those.
shrimp. I mean, you have like a jumbo shrimp as well. I'm not saying.
So do you call them jumbo prawns or jumbo shrimp?
I mean, we tend to jumbo is just a size, right? So I used to work in the delicatessen at Woolworths, which is a supermarket. So we sold the sizes of all the sizes of prawns, especially around the Christmas period, because that's the perfect weather for it. So you had just like your standard small, medium, large, extra large, extra large, and jumbo. And jumbo is literally just the size of prawn. And then you have the species it is, because Australia is pretty big, Queensland especially, where we live, is pretty big in terms of prawn as a primary industry. So you have a lot of different varieties coming from different regions. Freshwater and what's the opposite of freshwater? Saltwater.
Yeah.
Yes.
The other type
Is
of
it,
water.
There are like 8 types of water though. There's like brackish water and shit. I always forget what the real ones are.
Yeah, there's real water and then there's fake water. You go up to touch it and it's just not actually there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's
It's,
lying fake water.
It's called Mirage, is that the thing?
Well, I think Mirage is in reference to the entire oasis that isn't actually there.
Yeah. You go to touch the water in the oasis and it turns out it's just Colorado.
Ugh.
That's the real nightmare.
Yeah.
So let's see here. So it's end of semifinals. Final starts next week. The team draft tour is finishing up today, hopefully. They played their first game like 10 hours ago in the series. So we've got another group game.
Who are the 2 teams that I know?
And Pirates of the Hoenn. So the Smogon squad.
Who is in the
Okay.
Smogon squad?
Yeah.
It's like Ominous Draco, Alu Zura, I don't know how to say his name, Raj, a couple other guys. They're all
okay,
fairly
so-
new based to the WPF.
So like the Indian team for that for World Cup Pokemon, basically.
That sounds about right, yeah.
They're the good lads.
Yeah, no, they're all good guys. They're all relatively new to the scene, so
Yeah.
they got
Yeah,
picked up.
they're definitely really good players. Have you ever seen Ominous play in his main tier, which is to say GSC OU? He's phenomenal.
No, I haven't.
I know next to nothing about Smogon. I did see Pikachu Zappy Zap. He signed up for one of their tours, was super excited about it, and then completely missed it.
Yeah, he
It was like-
completely got to play.
It was
That
like
was-
a side thing, and he was talking about it the following day, like, yeah, that already happened.
yeah, he thought it was today, but it was yes, or I guess it's the other day for you guys. But
Yeah.
that was pretty funny.
That's. Oof.
So, wait, Rizzo, what about you? How did you start out in draft? Since we just spoke about how Keith did, and then we can do Pierre.
So I mean, really, it goes back to A Drive, right? Like A Drive and the whole YouTube kind of draft league community that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That was it, man. Like I was just watching the videos and I just happened to scroll down to the comment section and people were talking about like Discord League. So I just happened to download Discord, got the invitation to one of them, and pledge that. So you go there and there and there.
Yeah.
That was it. That was the summer of 2018.
Well, my first league was through Facebook, through just people I knew from an internet community, and then one of them was like, "Hey, I know you like Pokemon. Do you want to join this thing?" And then I'm like, "Oh, hell yeah!" And then I wound up making finals, and then losing to a team that had like McGeena, and I had Coco Rain.
Happens.
So that was how. What about Pierre? How did you first get into draft?
So I've always been like a huge Pokemon guy, but for whatever reason, growing up and going to college and stuff, just kind of like grew out of it. Plus, the circles I hung out with, no one was a nerd like me, and no one wanted to play it. So, I actually was playing in a men's soccer league down here, probably about the same time as Riss, like 2 years ago, I'd say. And dude, I don't even know how it came up. One of my buddies started talking about it. We were talking about video games on the ride home or something, and he's like, "Yeah, I play Pokemon a lot." I'm like, "What?" And then he's like, "Yeah, dude, have you ever heard of Pokemon Showdown?" And I was like, "No." Dude, my mind was blown when he showed me Pokemon Showdown. The way that you could just like pick them on, give it moves, and like the EVs. I was like, dude, this is so easy. Why did I not know about this? So started messing around on the ladder. Yeah, I was hooked, man. I started messing around on the ladder, and then I was on Reddit. I think I joined like the Showdown server on Reddit, and someone was posting, "Hey, I'm running a draft league. Do you want to join?" And when I was trying to get good, my buddy suggested watching like what's his name, Aaron Zhang, or
Cybertron.
Yeah, Cybertron for doubles. He said he was the best one to watch for doubles, or A Drive was one of the best ones to watch for singles. So started watching those guys, and got into a draft league, and that one folded, unfortunately, the first one. But I think it took me like 3 or 4 leagues until I finally found one that stuck it out for the whole season. So that was a little bit annoying. But then I found WPF, and I guess the rest is history.
That's why you needed the Facebook leagues, because I was in like 3 Facebook leagues, and none of them ever died.
Dude,
well, yeah. Like, I'm gonna drive to your house and like make you update the fucking dock.
No, they were all like American, right? But I just had I knew one of them from another part of the internet, and then everyone else was American, and half of them knew each other in real life. But I had never met any of them in real life. But we just played over Facebook. It was great. Apparently there was like a big period way back when of like the Facebook versus the Skype draft league before Discord became a big thing.
Oh man,
that sounds ancient.
I love everything about that sentence. I'm gonna be honest.
Sounds so bad, man.
I love every
back in the
single
day,
thing.
we used to hang out and link up on MySpace. They had a plug-in for it. You'd have to put it on your layout.
For Pokemon?
That was how we did it. Yeah.
Damn.
I'm joking. Fucking joking.
I don't believe it. Draft was like a 10-6 thing, though, wasn't it? MySpace, they really fucked MySpace up, man. He made it so much harder to use for no reason, and then it just died.
Well, I mean, that was back in like the early 2000s. Like nobody really knew what social media was for a couple years. It evolved pretty quickly until Facebook became like the pretty clear front runner.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Twitter is making the same mistake. They've been doing a lot of like changes recently, which is probably I wouldn't be completely shocked to see it wind up going the way of MySpace. They're just making it harder to use.
I don't know.
It might be because like I never really got into MySpace at all, but I feel like Twitter might be too big for that to happen to it.
But MySpace was so big.
Yeah, I know, but like also Twitter, it's got the famous people on it, and that I think is just going to help it a lot. Because
You telling me Tom from MySpace, Tom Anderson, isn't famous?
I don't think it counts if you literally created it.
He has so many friends. He has like over 1 million friends on MySpace. Or I don't know if he's famous. Yeah,
I will say I don't think Twitter at any point in the foreseeable future will wind up going the way of MySpace because it's used for so many different applications throughout the world because it's instantaneous, and and people aren't afraid to post very rapidly, right? Like as events are happening, like it's a great way to stay up to date with whatever you are.
Like some of the changes they're doing, like they're making it so you can't repost something with a link unless you've opened that link through Twitter and stuff. Like just a bunch of extra steps, which is just gonna be annoying and just make it harder to use, I think.
Well, they haven't done it yet. Still being used, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this is something they announced like 3 days ago, and I'm like, oh man, that's a bad idea. I don't know. I like Twitter. Really, really awful conversations happen on it, but you know that's part of the fun.
100%.
Yeah.
Part of the fun is hating it yourself.
Oh, I mean, I do that anyway. You know, it's fine.
Yes.
The best part is when you like not thinking and
Oh, I remember this time. I remember this dishonest turn. That dishonest turn. Sorry. Oh man, that was a very dishonest turn. That poor man. Paddy really outplayed every turn, and then he got flinched on like the second last turn and just lost.
By the way,
Sorry.
I think you guys missed my crazy trick-ass game, speaking of dishonest turns. It was nuts. It ended with a Heracross on 1% as the only Pokemon left alive.
Trick House replay, you say? Hold on.
Yeah, you can add that because it was kind of crazy. And my opponent ended up throwing, but hey.
There you go.
Yeah, you can see my struggle to play against the superior that I thought was never coming in a billion years, and did not prep for it at all.
There's nothing more I like than crapping on people in real time in a voice call. It really enhances the experience.
Greg,
we're gonna be crapping on Agnes.
Please tell me more.
Yeah, no, Greg, bring it fucking up. Like, I just thought it wasn't coming in a billion years, and it came.
See, his joke there was getting paralyzed. He shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, that was definitely a forced error.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not burning on the scald.
Yeah, that was also bad. I don't know. Did that guy? I think he just didn't bring removal, which is pretty weird. So that was
team has 2 different spikers.
Yeah, and the tentacles toxic spikes as well, and he didn't bring like a toxic or spike remover. It was an interesting match.
I don't think I've seen a Heracross or Mega Heracross bring spikes once yet.
I have
since
bought
it
it. I bought it like 2 or 3 times in A division.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Before I dropped it, it was key in winning 2 matches, I think.
Good for you then.
It's really good because because
He drops he drops Heracross and Tentacool a lot. I approve. A good Pokemon. I like him.
I mean, I'm just looking at the Crawdon.
Yeah.
Crawdon's
Let me get the Crawdon.
That's it. Crawdon, I don't know. Man. This we're also about to see another dishonest turn.
The most dishonest turn in all turns.
Such a dishonest turn in this battle. Ugh.
I mean, you're really not in a good position here.
I mean, I think he's in a great position because he's like setting up with Latios and then he just kind of beats everything. I don't know. I thought that was pretty decent, but then you have a very dishonest turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
You hate to see it.
So painful.
I'm curious to see how much the +6 Leaf Storm does.
To Heatran? Okay,
Yeah.
that's specs, like, that's a specs Heatran. So it is not, if I invested, it would probably do, like, -2, but...
Right.
I wanted
Oh, he's just going to keep telling you out.
Yeah, I wanted to click Eruption.
Yeah, he'd had a good Specs Eruption game previously, which is pretty cool. I like Heatran. I just drafted it in a draft that I'm drafting currently in UCA or something.
Yeah, but you also drafted Aegislash,
PLA.
which was voted
Yeah.
by the good people of A Division as the worst.
I didn't draft Aegislash.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I haven't. I've only had 4 picks. My team is Corviknight, Heatran, Salamence, and Florges.
I have 2 tier 2s, and they're Heatran and Salamence. The tiers are a bit weird. I don't
Yeah, I don't
understand
think I
what
want to go back to UCA. I will say you are the only person who has consistently drafted like 2 to 4 steals on your team at any one time. You're the only person I've seen do that, but it works for you. So
Yeah,
well done.
I really like steel types. They're very good. Especially if you get Heatran with other steels. They're very, very nice as a combination.
Yeah. I will say a steel type that's grown on me since the DLC moves have came out. We're seeing it on screen right now. I really do like Fortress. Like body press was huge for it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's good. It's tough to kill. People have to prep for it.
Well, it also means that it's not just death fodder anymore. Like you can't set up on it.
Yeah. I
You
could
put up
see.
Iron Defense, if you're marginally invested, it's hurting a lot. Like fighting type is a good spammable offensive move.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially because you do combine it with powerful gyro balls, and most ghosts are pretty frail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Freaking dust.
Heracross is such a good Pokemon.
I imagine giving it spikes is pretty. It's not dissimilar to how Greninja kind of runs toxic
Yeah.
spikes,
Yeah.
where it hits hard enough and you don't know what set it is until that first.
Yeah, and
That
usually
first
you
move
just
where you
instinctively
assume it's
switch against the. You
Scarf
instinctively
on it.
switch out.
Yeah, and you wind up getting at least one set for free.
Yeah, for sure.
Here we
Just
go.
remembering this dishonest match.
I'm so sad.
Look at these turns of pain.
I had toxic spikes on this Tentacruel. So I
Paralyzed.
tried to set it there, didn't work. Tried to set
Paralyzed.
it there, didn't work.
That was just like, I think he's had like 5 turns while he's been paralyzed, and 4 of them he's
no!
been full paralyzed.
You're not making a good case for Tentacruel right now.
What do you mean? It's it gets paralyzed.
Yeah,
See what
it's
you didn't
not
do,
good.
Keith? It didn't
It's
set up
susceptible
rain.
to paralysis.
Like it infinitely walled this if it wasn't paralyzed.
It
I'm
did.
so bad.
And this turn. What a good turn.
Oh my lord.
Liquidation he had said.
Yeah, so
That's a good
my
move.
god.
I literally did this basically like an hour before we started recording, so I'm still sort of pumped by the unexpected win because I was quite.
That's amazing.
That was a really good win, yeah. Oh no, the jolts. This game. I will say, I think one of the things that Ominous has really done well since he's been inducted into the draft league community is he's used a couple of mons that people have written off and really done well with them.
I mean, he uses Specs Feeney so well.
I would more so talking about Scorch and Sigilyph, but yeah, offensive Feeney as well, for sure.
I don't know.
Sigilyph is
Sigilyph
great,
is a
though.
weird Pokemon. Some people rate the hell out of it, and then some people don't. I've always been a big fan of Sigilyph.
I've never really seen it used until he showed up on the scene. Like, just not a lot of drafted.
I don't know. I've definitely seen it used before. I always respected it because it's just such a strong mon with Tinted Lens. I remember in my first match against him, the one where I wound up late game sweeping with Toxicity, I was just sitting there like, every single one of my resists is 2-hit KO'd by Specs Tinted Lens Air Slash. That's incredible. So I just have to stay in and try and knock it off.
What's its base speed? Like 97?
Yeah, nice. That's really good. That's the same speed as Urshifu.
Yeah.
Urshifu's
The
fun. New Pokemon.
Pangoro V2.
Yeah, or Keldeo, I guess. Physical Keldeo. Poliwrath. And it even ignores Protect, which is pretty dumb.
Wait, it does?
Yeah, that's its ability, is that its attacks ignore Protect.
That's pretty
So if you're using any of its signature moves, I think it's
always
like,
crits.
it's like Surging Strike and something Blow. Like it always crits and it always goes through Protect. And it's full damage Protect, right?
Yeah.
It's not like
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this.
They gave that.
They're like,
They gave those 2 Pokemon that ability.
It's also, it's a VGC legal, even though,
yeah, they're like 90% or 90 base power moves that are not like super broken.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
no.
what, Frost Breath is your other auto crit move, and that's base 60.
They're also Stab. and they always crit. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I think it's like a 204 base power move with all the boosts.
I don't know. I'm not a
Crit
big
and
fan
stab
of
and
being
all that
VGC legal. I mean, for one thing, it just kind of seems like a mythical, but being able to ignore protect seems really bad for VGC health in general.
I think if
Yeah,
they,
we'll
that would
see.
have been a fine mechanic if they had like nerfed the damage if they protected on it. Like do 50% if you catch it on the protect.
Yeah, like Z-moves and Gigantamax maybe.
Yeah, that would have been cool. We still got to put together our VGC tier list and get that rolling for the next side division too. WPF, I'm pretty pumped for that.
Was that next side division? I thought that was next team tour.
I didn't think we could do it as a team tour. I was thinking more of like a side division, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I thought we were doing that instead of team tour next season.
Oh, yeah.
Pull
Yeah.
this up.
Yeah, because team tour is on a different schedule to.
There you go. I'm pulling it up here.
All right, so
There you go.
Yeah, VGC.
let's
Yeah.
look. Okay, so Riss, when do I need to have the, I guess the tier list done by?
So it looks to me like the application for it is coming out kind of mid to late July. So I'd say like we could really kind of get into it by early July because all of June
Yeah,
would be, tied up into season 6.
I
Yeah,
think
it'd be
Electric
interesting.
and Veceper and I should play around on the ladder and stuff a little bit to figure out, where Urshifu and stuff should go since
Yeah,
the
okay.
DLC.
I really just think straight into the highest tier. Just ignoring protect.
Well,
is
yeah,
such a big thing
100%,
for
yeah.
draft.
But some other stuff might move around.
Yeah,
compared to, like, the
definitely.
last
I'm
one.
really interested to see how the introduction of Pokemon, like Zone, maybe might even be interesting. It's got a really good defensive typing because of how big
Yeah,
Gojikiss
Well, you
was.
say that, but the Swords of Justice just got added as well, and that's 3 really good.
Yeah,
Mike-
yeah.
and,
Oh, the
and Urshifu's
Tra-
fighting, but
What's it?
Ghosts
I think
are
it is.
huge in this meta, though.
Yeah, but I mean, Trackcart is such a massive thing in multiple VGC seasons that absolutely you could see Terracart being a problem because a lot of the ghosts, I think with the exception of like Dragon Ball or something, aren't going to take a Rock Slide from a +4 Terrakion very well.
Yeah, no,
Terrakion
definitely. It's,
get to +4.
Beat up
Just
Whimsicott. That's what a Terracart is. Beat up Whimsicott with Terrakion.
That's a
Yeah,
you
you'll see beat up a lot. Dragapult can run it too. Whimsicott, a few other mons.
Yeah.
I thought you were just saying Terrakion weird. I was going to let you go with it.
Yeah,
But
no,
that-
no. It's a Terracart is a classic thing from back in Gen 5 BGC. I think it won in like one of the seasons when they had like a national dex, not Uber's national dex, but like the non-Uber's national dex. So
I believe it.
pretty mental. Which Pokemon do you think would have won the most VGC seasons? Like for most VGC worlds?
Probably Garchomp.
Probably Arcanine
Garchomp?
or Salamence.
Garchomp? Arcanine Salamence, really? That's interesting because it's actually 2 Pokemon tied.
One of them will be
Conkeldurr and Cresselia.
Oh, God.
I pretty conk.
Yeah,
I forgot Crest was big back in the day.
I think Crest will probably be big if it's made legal with the next DLC as well.
Yeah.
God, I hope not.
Yeah.
It probably will be legal with the next DLC. Depends how many legendaries are coming in. I really hope Heatran comes back. I always liked using Heatran in VGC. Such an interesting Pokemon.
As long as the Ultra Beasts don't come back, I'll be happy.
They might. I don't know. We'll see.
Shut your whore mouth.
As long as Megas don't come back, I'll be happy. Except there
No.
won't be, because everyone in drafts
Oh,
uses
good.
Megas. They're just going to do whatever they do in Pokemon Go, and they're going to make that how Megas work now. Which is probably just going to be you can only use them in raids.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Megas. I really do.
Most people do. I do.
I need to draft. Crap.
They're a great way to bring kind of forgotten Pokemon and make them viable again. Like that's exactly what happened with Lopunny. Lopunny was a dead mon. They gave it a Mega Evolution, and now it's drafted everywhere.
Pinsir.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, then you also have mons like Mega Scizor or like Mega Diancie or something, where they were already good Pokemon, and then they just completely pushed over the edge.
Yeah.
We should
Anyway.
allow Mega Gengar.
We really shouldn't. It probably would have been in the side div Ubers legal, but with nasty play, it's just so ridiculous because you can set up on anything you trap to plus
That's
6.
fair.
130 base
Trap.
speed to laugh at.
Bring a U-turn on everything.
That's. What
So
if
then
you
if you
don't
nasty
have-
plot on the U-turn that they 4 times resist,
Bring Endeavor, bring Sand Hail damage.
Endeavor doesn't hit ghost types.
Oh, that's right.
Scrappy Endeavor. Scrappy Endeavor.
You also cannot
Let's
trap.
be honest, if you don't have a Scrappy Endeavor mod in your draft, you're really just throwing.
That
Yeah,
is
So
That's
speaking of Shadow Tag, so we're currently going through the process of adjusting tiers for all of the Pokemon that we'll be using in Season 6. I just checked back on the voting channel for all the mods and the guys who help with tiering. It looks like we are allowing Shadow Tag.
Yay! I drafted that
I'm down with that.
seasons ago, and then season 3, I think I drafted Shadow Tag Gothitelle. Wound up dropping it for Excadrill, I think.
It's just not fun to play against. It's not
That's
busted.
wild.
It just
It's
forces
not
prep.
Yeah. It's not fun.
It forces prep, which is, but I mean, so does Ditto, and I honestly I dislike playing Ditto more than I dislike playing Gothitelle.
That's
I just
fair.
dislike playing Ditto.
Yeah, building for I had to play Ditto and low tier recently, and building for that was the worst. I couldn't bring any setup. It's garbage. Ugh, I hate it.
So
Yeah.
I do notice, I do note that Keith, you're actually the only one who voted against allowing Gothitelle.
Oh,
Mm.
okay. I voted against it whilst I was at work, so I didn't pay too much attention to it. But I was just like,
Yeah.
it's not fun. I don't want to play against
Wobbuffet, though.
it.
You know
I
what?
would
I'm
like
not
to point out that we
I
have
can't.
soft banned Bidoof and Wobbuffet, and Wynaught, sorry. That we have soft banned Bidoof, of all things.
Well,
Clearly
I mean,
some
it is
crazy
too
going.
powerful. It is.
It is.
Bidoof
It
is
is.
way too powerful.
It is. It's just, I just love the fact that
I got spooked recently by a what is that thing called? The flying bat, psychic flying with simple
Swoobat.
Swoobat. Yeah, I got super crapped on by fucking Swoobat. It came
Store
in,
power.
it did a nasty plot, went to +4 and store powered me, and I was
Wow.
surprised because I forgot it was 114 base speed.
Yeah, it's so fast. It's
I
so
missed
fast.
out on ICL of the ICL finals because someone bought a Swoobat with the grassy seed and Carmine, so I couldn't break it because it got a +2 in defense and
Yeah.
+4 in special defense, and I couldn't actually break it, and I just lost.
Okay. Now, Keith, are you completely sure that I shouldn't draft Aegislash?
I mean, you know, the
You told me to
the,
draft right now.
the good people in the A division, you know,
Right, it is
voted
a-
my Aegislash as the worst tier 1. So
It
I'd
is-
like to say that it is complete and utter garbage.
They
It's
voted
the
Celebi
worst
as the
mod.
worst tier 2 last season, and Celebi I only had for 3 weeks, and it was good in both of the weeks I brought it.
Yeah, look,
I don't understand.
I was
people vote.
literally singing songs in the A division, you know,
I
A
remember.
division coach chat, singing frickin' parodies of Simpsons songs to get rid of this thing.
Okay, but I mean, I kind of want Dublin.
Hey
Look,
guys,
draft
I gotta
it
get
if
off.
you want to hate yourself.
Sorry to cut this short,
Yeah.
Oh,
but it's
Yes.
been real, guys.
I think we're at about an hour anyway.
yeah.
Cool. Been fun.
Well, hey,
Oh.
maybe that's a pretty good
Yeah,
note.
glad we got together to do this, boys.
Yeah. I'll,
I'll catch you
So-
later.
Leave a like in the comments below.
yeah, like and subscribe. Validate our existence.
Sounds
Okay.
good to me. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you later.